What do you find is different from the Ecuador-grown Connecticut with other Connecticut's in the market? This has a spice right off the bat, no?
Well,
It's real nice.
the Ecuador Connecticut, I feel is a Connecticut that lets the other tobaccos shine a little bit more. You know, the original Connecticut from the United States, it's you know it's a great tobacco, but it tended to dominate a little bit more the blends.
The flavor, no?
Yeah. So this one, there's you know more, I feel more of a balance in the overall smoke, and you know you can taste some of the sweetness in some of the tobaccos in here. You know, we have tobaccos in here from Honduras and
Honduras
Dominican,
Criollo 98,
yeah, Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic.
So I mean,
yeah.
these flavors, you know, they come out in the smoke. If you had a wrapper, let's say like a Habano or you know the one that used to be grown here in the States, it you have to play a little bit more with the blend with the different binders that are used so that you can get a more balance and not let the wrapper dominate the smoke so much. But this is the type of smoke that I enjoyed it, especially when I'm outside reading a book. I want to enjoy the book and I want to enjoy the cigar. And with this type of cigar, I feel that I can smoke 2 or 3 and really it complements my reading somehow. I don't know if that's
It's like a peaceful smoke.
Yes.
It doesn't
It doesn't
take too
interfere.
much. Yeah, it's just kind of like maybe
But-
what they call smooth, creamy. Just kind of sits really well.
But at the same
palate.
time,
It's got a little spice.
it's got a little spice. It's got character. Not overbearing character. It's got some of the creaminess. You feel it a little bit here, okay? But it's just a very nice balanced smoke. And I think if you enjoy a Connecticut, I think this is a cigar that should definitely be in your how do you say, Connecticut rotation.
Well, for sure. Sorry, everyone. I got so caught up with the cigar that I didn't even say we're actually doing a Connecticut, a video on our EP Carrillo Connecticut, which is part of our Essence series. Remember now that we're Casa Carrillo, that the EP Carrillo is a sub-brand and the Essence series is a series within it. And these cigars are meant to awaken your senses, right? Kind of everything's in the wrapper talks to you,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So whether the wrapper here allows everything else to shine, that's part of the wrapper story.
Right,
So-
right. There's a reason for the blend, and there's a reason for you using each tobacco. And depending on what one is looking for, you're gonna use the different wrappers and the different binders and the different fillers. And I think with this cigar, the taste profile is that people that enjoy smoking a Connecticut, maybe a smoother, a milder Connecticut, can also enjoy these. And those that like a little bit Connecticut with a little bit more character. I'm not gonna say strength because that's not the word. Then this is the type of cigars that that you want to enjoy.
So how would you say that making this cigar in the Agroindustrias Diadema cigar factory in Honduras has influenced, I guess, the construction, the character, like you were saying?
Well, the construction is great, and this is something
beautiful.
that we started, a while back working with other factories. We worked with the Oliva Cigar Company. We worked with the Plasencia. You're making 2 cigars with Plasencia, the Honduras and the Inch Nicaragua. And this is another factory down there. And so it's also for me, it's a learning process,
Yeah, I love the collaborations.
Yeah,
you
working
know,
with
you
the
can-
different companies,
Yeah.
seeing how
The
they
tobaccos.
work, the tobaccos that they use,
They have wonderful
the different
Connecticut.
seeds, and that to me is very important, and I think the learning experience for me has been incredible.
So we were talking about the strength, right? So it's a mild with some character. And I think that this cigar would be very well received by beginners and by people who smoke other types of wrappers, right? Because like you were saying, if you just are in the mood for a Connecticut, something milder. I know that we're more known for medium to full cigars. So it's real nice to have the opportunity to offer this. I know that we also have our New Wave Connecticut, which
Right.
you know we've had for many, many years. But this is fun because, like you said, we get to collaborate, you know, with another factory that, you know, has wonderful Connecticut tobaccos. Learn from that experience, and then, you know, be able to share that. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this cigar a lot.
Well,
So-
it's a progression, you know. You have your, you know, let's say you have your, you know, your morning, your everyday cigar, and then there's cigars that you want to smoke maybe, you know, after where you sit in a cigar lounge or whatever. You know, so we have the Sumatra, which is more, you know, a little more. Sumatra's more about the character of the cigar. You know, it just stays in you for some reason. I mean, at least that was my intention. And then we have the Maduro, which is also a medium to full, but also a little bit more on the creamier, I guess you could say, side. And then we have the Honduran, which is the fuller body one, that has the more spice, you know, the strength. And so I mean, there's a progression of different cigars that can be enjoyed, and from each one, you're going to have a different experience.
This has some notes of almond. It's just very.
The aroma is very nice, huh? Yeah.
I'm tasting almonds. I'm tasting just something very like a little spicy vanilla. It's very nice. It has a lot of contrasting, you know,
notes.
Going on. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like you said, the wrapper is letting everything else play its
shine.
role.
Play its role. That's
I
a
love
perfect
this.
word for it.
I love this cigar. So we're probably boring everyone just here smoking because this is so great. But anyway, sorry everyone. So this cigar comes in 3 sizes. We have the 6x52 Toro. We have the 5.5 by 44 Connecticut, and then we have the 5x50 Robusto. So make sure to check it out, and keep in mind that, like we said, the EP Carrillo Connecticut, Sumatra, Maduro, or the Honduras, like you said, they each have their own kind of profile. So let us know what you think in the comments, please. Don't forget, because it's really important to us to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to subscribe, because we're constantly making these type of videos for your enjoyment and for us to be able to communicate with you. And let us know. Let us know which is your favorite EP Essence Series cigar. We really want to know. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Oh, wait. We're still going? I forgot to ask you this. We're still going, right? Sorry, everyone. So what is the optimal time to age a cigar? Because a lot of people always ask that.
Well, with Connecticut.
Look at this ash.
Beautiful. With Connecticut, you know, wrappers, I like a higher humidity, for the simple reason that you don't want a Connecticut wrapper to be too dry. So for me, I think humidity plays a very important part in all these, you know, cigars. For instance, this one, I would try to keep it, you know, 68, 70, 72.
Okay.
Relative humidity. Now, when we're smoking the, you know, the Honduras or the Maduro or the Sumatra, I like to keep that at a lower humidity. And I mean, the aging process, this is something that each individual, you know, you have to work at it. This is not something that's, you know, it's written in a book. No. Each person likes their cigar.
Okay.
With different agings, different humidity. Needless to say, the longer that you age it, it's going to, you know, declare more what the different tobaccos are all about. So, I mean, I have cigars that are, you know, 10 years and 15 years, and they're great. And then I have tobaccos that are 10 years and they're not as good. So I think, you know, for me, the optimum time to smoke a cigar is after the first 6 months. Then you start, you know, depending on when you keep it also.
Okay.
You know, you have to have the conditions because these are, how do you say, living, you know, it has life. Let's just put it that way.
Organisms.
Yeah, organisms. So I mean, you
Back
have
to
to take
science
care
and
of it, like
baseball.
like you would anything, any fine wine, any fine liquor or anything. Cigars are the same, so you have to look at it like that, and not just a cigar that you can just.
So for Connecticut, let's say there's no necessary peak time. It's great right now,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, this
Well,
is
this has
something
been
that
aged. That has
this has been aged
Yeah,
already,
yeah.
obviously.
I mean,
but I'm saying once
this
it hits the
production
stores,
is
it's been
from, I
aged.
think last September. if I
Right. So these have been aged anyway, but
Right.
they kind of evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody kind of has to find their own peak is basically
Exactly.
what you're saying. Okay.
The
Well,
humidity level, though, with like I said, with the Connecticut, should be a little bit higher, just
Okay.
to let it really absorb some of that extra humidity. Will definitely help a lot with the Connecticut cigar.
okay. Well, now it's goodbye, guys. Thank you for joining.